Hey guys, what up? It's Snake Eater here. About a year ago, I went on a vacation, a trip to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Viva Las Vegas, baby! Yeah!
My gracious fiance and my cousin flew me down to Vegas so I could have a vacation with them. You know the usual Vegas stories, gambling, crazy parties, lots of booze, strip clubs. Yeah, does that sound like fun? All that jazz. This was not that kind of trip. This was just a trip to see my cousins, and they just happened to live in Henderson, Nevada. I am a happily taken man, and I don't want to do any dumb stuff while I'm on vacation. Also, I have bills and responsibilities at home I had to pay. Also, I think strip clubs are just dumb. I would much rather spend my money on other things like food, video games, coffee, nerd shit, boba tea. We did drink a little bit and get a little drunk, and we did do drunk karaoke. Besides that, I had a couple requests that I wanted to experience while in Nevada, and my cousins happily agreed. I wanted to experience a big, fancy Vegas steak dinner. I wanted to get as much food as possible that is not available to me here in Alaska, places like Chick-fil-A. And I also wanted to visit the town of Goodsprings. Honestly, I would have been just fine chilling at home, playing with their Great Danes, eating their mom's delicious cooking, and playing Elden Ring on their PS5. But they insisted on taking me out and experience things, which I appreciate a lot. So let's get into it. My second favorite video game of all time, and my number one most favorite open world video game of all time is Fallout New Vegas. In the game, they have many locations that are based off and inspired by real world locations in Nevada. I did not know this. I thought they were all made up places. It blew my mind when I figured out Goodsprings, McCarran Airport, Primm, Sloan, and more are actually in Nevada and the surrounding Vegas area. Before you call me a dumbass, yes, I did know the Hoover Dam was actually a real place in Nevada. Anyways, I told myself if I ever have the opportunity to visit Nevada, I'm gonna take a tour of all the New Vegas locations. As fate would have it, I have some loving and generous cousins that just live in that area who invited me over. Also, my cousins are nerds who also played New Vegas growing up, and they wanted to visit Goodsprings too. They've lived in Vegas for a few years and they've never visited Goodsprings, which kind of blew my mind because that would be the first place I'd visit if I moved there. I can't find a definitive population number, but multiple sources say Goodsprings has 100 people, some say 150, and some sources say they have more than 200. But the main consensus is this town is small. There are a few tourist stops in the town telling the history of Goodsprings. We walked around and noticed the geographical setting in the game is very accurate to the real town and buildings. We found the building up on the hill that resembles Doc's house. The school is in the same general area. When you turn the corner around the hill, there's an actual water well where that lady gets attacked by geckos. That's actually there in real life. Not the actual geckos, but you know. Obviously, the main attraction was the general store and the saloon, which are identical to the game. It was an unreal experience. My little nerd heart could barely take it. I'm the kind of person to live in the moment, so I didn't take very many pictures, but I tried to take some. We visited the general store first, and basically, it's just honestly a tourist shop with a bunch of overpriced souvenirs. But I don't care. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience to visit Goodsprings, Nevada. If I want to spend $60 on a Goodsprings hoodie, I'm gonna spend $60, okay? I grabbed this hoodie for myself, a tank top for my lady, 2 winter beanies, a poster that has Easy Pete on there, some candles, and a Nuka-Cola cap. Let me go grab that. So yeah, it's like Easy Pete, the guy who has like a dynamite in Goodsprings. You gotta have like the explosives stat to get him to fight along with you with the powder gangers. Goodsprings general store right there. There we go. It's a little, I mean, it was worn down already to like give it like a vintage look or whatever, but I've had it for a year and it's a little bit more worn down. But yeah, Nuka-Cola. And next door to the general store was a saloon where they had live music and a decent sized crowd considering the population of the town. For the most part, they looked like locals. Music was good, atmosphere was good, drinks were good. We decided to get the authentic saloon experience and grab some drinks at the bar. And me being a little fruitcake, I ordered 2 fruity cocktails. And I also helped my cousin finish her rum and coke. Inside the saloon, we found a shrine to Fallout New Vegas. There was all this New Vegas memorabilia and fan art and souvenirs and just everything you can think of. And it was just awesome because so many nerds around the world came together and just collected all this stuff to leave it here as a shrine and their love for this game. And this is my second favorite video game of all time, so you gotta understand how happy this made me. I was not expecting this. They also had this booklet where all the visitors can sign their name and leave a little note. But it was filled. There were so many notes and names and stuff that I found a little spot to say, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter. I live in Alaska and this is false. I don't know, I thought that was a little clever because it's freaking cold in Alaska, man. Oh, and we got this old time saloon in the middle of nowhere experience. Just as we were in the back in the New Vegas shrine, the electricity went out and all the lights went out and everything went dark. It was so cool. You know how like just like saloons go out in like movies and stuff? It was so cool. Everything just went and all the power went out. It was awesome. Everyone was like, woo! And I was buzzed. So I went, yeah! Anyways, we could have stopped there and my New Vegas nerd heart would have been satisfied and fulfilled. But they also took me to the Prim Hotel and Casino. I couldn't believe they legit had a roller coaster running around the whole building. Unfortunately, the roller coaster was no longer available since COVID. Inside was a big ass casino on the first floor. Then the top floors were an actual hotel. And it caught me off guard. There's no hotels here in Alaska. Everyone was just smoking inside the building. I was like, ew, this is gross. Hey, editor's note, there's no casinos in Alaska, I meant to say. We have plenty of hotels here. Hi friends, welcome to Vicky and Vance Casino and Hotel. Is that what he says? The little robot sheriff? Yeah.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to the Vicky and Vance Casino and Museum.
Moving on, I also went on a hiking trip in the Red Rock Canyon with one of my cousins and their stepdad. So he's kind of like a step half uncle to me or something like that. The hike was so cool and pretty. Not to sound like a Karen, but I made one request. Please don't take me anywhere that has snow because I live in Alaska and it was January and I'm sick of snow. But you know what they did? They took me somewhere that has snow, and that's totally fine with me. It was early as hell. It was like 5 a.m. before sunrise. It was surprisingly chilly. It was sparkling rain. I almost walked into a cactus. I stepped in freezing river water multiple times. I twisted my ankle. My leg! Oh, my leg! I slipped and fell. I was wet. I was sweaty. I was tired. I was on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and it was still one of the best hiking trips I ever went on. The only thing that was missing was the great cons. What? Are you getting frustrated? Oh, do I have to pick you up? So we were driving along the strip and we passed by a big ass sign and the sign said one word that caught my attention. Pinball. I was like, hell yeah. I felt like a little kid asking my cousins, can we go there please? Pretty please? They said yeah, of course. This was the famous Hall of Fame Pinball Museum. The same one that Jack Black went to when he was doing the Jablinski YouTube videos. But it's not the same exact ones because they moved locations, but it's the same company or whatever who runs it. It's the same thing, they just moved locations and it's bigger now. I thought this was just gonna be pinballs and nothing else, and that would have been totally cool. But it was so much more than that. This was an old school arcade. They had so many cool arcade games in there, along with so many pinball machines from different movies, TV shows, pop culture. There was just so much to get to. I tried to play as many pinballs as I could, but there was just so much I couldn't keep up with all of it. I tried to take a few pictures, but I just got consumed by the total awesomeness of the place. I just forgot to take more pictures and I was just in the moment playing these games and it was just an awesome experience. Also, this place is just a bargain. I spent $20 and had like 2 hours of awesome fun in there. They had the OG very first Donkey Kong game with Mario's very first appearance. They had Dig Dug. I loved Dig Dug as a kid. They had Guitar Hero, which I loved as a teenager growing up. They had the Star Wars Racer with Anakin's Racer as a seat and the controls. You were actually in it racing. And then my most favorite, this made my little nerd heart so happy. They had a Crazy Taxi stand with like the actual wheel and the gas pedals and everything. I haven't played Crazy Taxi since I was a kid. I had it on my GameCube. It was one of my most favorite games ever. I replayed that game over and over again, memorizing all the streets and locations. I loved Crazy Taxi as a kid, but I found it at the museum. I was so happy. Offspring was going off on the speakers. It was awesome. I was like, yeah. It's going around with Offspring. It was great. My cousins were watching me and they're like, damn, this game is crazy. I'm like, yeah, it's Crazy Taxi. Hey, editor's note again. I forgot to mention, when I came home from vacation, I looked up Crazy Taxi and I actually found it on my Xbox Series X. They have the Xbox 360 version on the online store. I bought it for like $5 and it's awesome. So here in Alaska, we have the usual typical fast food places. We have Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King. I just ate some Burger King and my stomach feels upset. Ugh. McDonald's, Sonic, KFC, Raising Cane's, and Popeyes. And we just got a Sonic in our town like a year or two ago. For a long time, we didn't have one. And the only reason we have a Cane's is because like the founder used to come to Alaska to work during the summers when he was a kid or something like that. So he has like a personal connection to Alaska. It's the only reason why we have a Cane's. I only had a week to visit my cousins, but they wanted to take me to as many fast food places as possible that I don't have access to here in Alaska. They took me to Chick-fil-A, which is a little overrated, I think. Didn't taste as delicious as I remember the last time I had it a few years ago. The chicken sandwiches were okay. Definitely disappointing though. White Castle. In Walmart, they have like frozen sliders in the frozen section. They're always disappointing, but getting them fresh to you, they're just delicious. They're so much better than I thought they would be. And the chicken sliders were really good too, especially with spicy sauce. This White Castle that we went to was inside the biggest Chevron gas station in the world, which is pretty cool, I think. Jack in the Box. I got a burger, a breakfast sandwich, and loaded mini tacos. The burger and sandwich were all right, but the loaded mini tacos were bomb. They give you 12 in one pack. I ate all 12 in one sitting and I wanted more. Those mini tacos, mwah. In-N-Out Burger. This tasted like a good old-fashioned American burger. It was nice. And also the sauce that they use tastes surprisingly similar to Big Mac sauce. I'm on to you, In-N-Out Burger. We have quite a big immigrant and Asian population here in Anchorage, Alaska. We're a really diverse community, so we have a lot of boba tea places. But they took me to more when I was in Vegas to get more boba tea experience, and I had the best boba tea I've ever had in my life when I was there. I forgot the flavor or what it was called. It was so damn good. 8 Kitchen is an American Asian fusion restaurant, which is amazing. They had bao buns, kimchi fried rice, and an Asian take on a po' boy, which was amazing. Finally, they took me to the Strip House, which apparently is this really fancy dancy steak restaurant on the Strip of Vegas. It was really expensive, the most expensive dinner bill I've ever seen. It was 3 of us, my cousin, her boyfriend, who I also consider a cousin, and then also me. I was totally happy being the third wheel, it was fine. The bill ended up being around $400, and half of that was mine. I ordered 2 fruity cocktails and I finished my cousin's Moscow Mule, which that got me pretty drunk, but then my steaks sobered me up and brought me down from drunk to buzzed. We got calamari appetizer, which was pretty disappointing. My cousin said, that's what you get for getting seafood at a steak place. It's gonna be gross, which is fair, I guess. I couldn't decide, so I ordered 2 steaks. The 20-ounce bone-in ribeye, which was around $70, and they got a special steak Wagyu, which was around 8 ounces, and that was $80. I got a blue cheese crust on one, and then a mushrooms topping on the other. The blue cheese crust was the best blue cheese I've ever had in my life. It was so fucking delicious. I love blue cheese, man. I got 2 steaks because I really wanted to try the Wagyu steak. I've never had it before, but I knew 8 ounces was too small to fill me up. I'm like, you know what, screw it. This is my one Vegas steak experience. I'm gonna get 2 steaks if I want. Anyways, $200 later, my Vegas steak fantasy was satisfied. I'll forever be grateful for my cousins for taking me there. Thanks, guys. My cousins also took me around the Strip to walk around and just experience and soak it all in. We walked around to a couple hotels. We walked to the one they filmed The Hangover at, and they had an art gallery with flowers and pretty art pieces celebrating the Chinese New Year. I guess I'm a cranky old man because the whole time we were walking around there, the only thing I could think of was, there's too many people, there's too many lights, there's too many noises. This is unnecessary and obnoxious. That's the only thing I could think of. I'm like, this is just too much. Also, I guess I got scammed by an old Asian woman. We were watching the fountain show, and then I was kind of buzzed from the steak dinner. And all of a sudden, someone grabs my hand and puts a bracelet on my wrist and hands me a good fortune card that was in Chinese. And before I can even react or process what happened, the lady was asking for a tip. Realizing in the moment what just happened, I told the truth to her and I said, I don't have any cash, sorry. I was hoping that she would go away. This bitch pulls out her brand new iPhone and credit card reader hooks it up and says, tip? I was like, what the hell? So I tipped her $5 to leave me alone and go away. So I was kind of annoyed, but I got over it. My cousin got really mad for me. He's like, fuck that lady. You should have told her to fuck off and get a real job. I was like, whoa, dude. And he's like, fuck her. She's just scamming people. She scammed you, man. That's fucked up. Fuck her. I was like, all right. You gotta respect her grind, though. Walking around the strip, going to unassuming drunk tourists and making them feel bad and putting them in uncomfortable situations, putting crappy bead bracelets on their wrist and asking for a tip. Gotta respect that grind. I was buzzed and I also got a little paranoid because I thought the bracelet on me was cursed or she put like bad juju on there or something because it started to burn and itch my wrist. I swear to God, I wasn't making this up. Like my wrist started to get a little red and like a little irritated when she put the wristband on there. Maybe it was just full of germs or something, or I don't know, like, I don't know what was going on, but I got really paranoid, so I went to the bathroom and I threw it in the trash because I got scared. I was like, nope, not taking this curse home with me to Alaska. But then again, maybe I did bring the curse home with me because the very first thing that happened when I got home, my car broke down. Maybe I should have tipped $10. Anyways, while I was on vacation, my love for Elden Ring re-sparked. I was a little burnt out on Elden Ring after spending 350 hours back home, but my cousin Reno's just got a brand new PS5 and Elden Ring for Christmas. This is Christmas 2022, by the way.
Hey guys, Editing Snake Eater here. So I didn't explain this very well in the video, so I'm gonna try to explain it now. So my cousins are casual gamers, and I didn't want a backseat game for them, so I lightly guided them and helped them through how to progress the main story of the game because Elden Ring can be so big and overwhelming and consuming. And they kept telling me, you know, if you want to beat the main story bosses for us, you can if you want. And I said, no. I don't want to spoil or ruin anything. The main story bosses are for you guys to experience. That's like the best part of the game. So when they're like sleeping or at work or whatever, I went around and beat all the side bosses that they didn't care about and helped like farm runes. And this re-sparked my love and fun that I had with Elden Ring.
So when I got home, I booted up Elden Ring again and I got addicted again and put in another 150 hours on top of my already 350. So total, I have like 500 hours of Elden Ring so far. Because my cousins are really into D&D or Magic, I forgot which one, but they're really into one or the other. So they took me to a couple of nerd comic, anime, manga, card, D&D stores. And something awoke inside of me that I can't really explain. I bought manga for the very first time and figures from some of my favorite anime. You can see like Demon Slayer over here and then Jujutsu Kaisen back here, Panda. And something awoke inside of me, I can't really explain it. I'm like, manga's pretty cool. Comics are pretty cool. I should buy more. So I bought a bunch of manga. I'll have to show you all the manga I bought while I was there. My luggage and bags were full of just manga. And then when I got home, I went to the only comic store that we have in town and I bought more manga. They also took me to a couple of video game and more nerd stores around town, and they took me to one like vintage video game store that has a bunch of old school games. I was looking for games I can play like backwards compatible on my Xbox Series X. I only found one game. I'll put it on the screen. It's like this old school Star Wars game, but on the disc also comes with Tetris for some reason. It's Tetris and Star Wars in the same box. I just thought that was funny. They also had the original Metal Gear on the NES sealed for $100. I asked them if they had any Metal Gear stuff, and that's the only thing they had. I was like, for $100 for a collectible item? I don't know. I thought about it. I said no, unfortunately. So while I was in Vegas, I only gambled twice. First, on a gacha machine with a bunch of Pokemon figures, but they're all knockoffs. I consider this gambling because I didn't know which Pokemon I was gonna get for a quarter. I got like dozens of Pokemon, these little crappy figures. I'll show them to you on the screen. Here's a tiny little Squirtle that I got. It's just a cute little guy. And then here's a Dragonite, but it's the wrong color. It's brown. I don't think shiny Dragonite is brown, but yeah, it's like a brown. I'll have to show you more. I also got that Magikarp over there. I also got those two Squirtles. Then my next gambling experience was at an actual slot machine that we went to. I spent $20, lost the whole $20. I won $5, spent that, lost it too. So I lost $20, $25, I guess. That was enough for me. I was like, nope, I'm not gambling anymore. That was it. Gambling is a scam. I'm good. Overall, my trip to Vegas was very fun and very relaxing. It was nice to get out of cold-ass Alaska for once and get some time off of work and to see my favorite cousins. I love you guys. I'm grateful for my cousins for welcoming me into their home and taking me around Henderson and Vegas. My new Vegas nerd heart is officially fulfilled.